Fresh off Mama's first ever win over a ranked opponent over Liberty, the Hawks will entertain #1 Coastal Carolina. Alongside senior offensive lineman Hunter McHugh, I'm Matt Harmon, previewing this week's game against the Chanticleers. And Hunter, obviously, let's just go backwards a little bit, take you back to that Liberty game on Saturday. It's been called the biggest win in program history, probably your biggest win in your 4 years here.
Yeah, absolutely. The height of that game, and to win it in the fashion that we did, it was exciting, and it came down, of course, to overtime. But as far as it being the biggest win, I can only speak for the time that I've been here, and it's certainly, it tops any game I've ever been a part of. Even going back to high school, youth league football, that game, what it meant for the program itself was also, makes it even that much more special. And kind of coming for where we are this season, that game was huge morale booster for us.
It's a game this week that the opponent, not going to be an easy chore either. #1 Coastal Carolina coming here to New Jersey. They were #1 when you guys played them last year, so it's a team that, in a way, you're very familiar with.
Yeah, definitely. We went down there last year, and it was a pretty tough game, but, it kind of lets you know where you're at as a team. And so last year we played them, and we played them tough, and like you said, they were #1 last year. And so you kind of see where you're at as a program and where you're at as a team, and I think we've come a long way since last year. So going into this weekend, I feel pretty good, especially coming off of the win last weekend. I feel pretty good about how we're going to approach this game and going into them, again, being a #1 opponent. So I'm excited for this weekend. I think that we have a pretty good shot, and I feel pretty good about how the team's preparing so far this week.
And finally, it's been a young offense that's kind of taken their time to maybe find their stride. Crazy to say there's only 4 games left in this 2015 season. Do you feel like at this particular time the offense is finally getting that continuity that's important?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, talking about the games, we're starting to put up more points, and even against Liberty, I think we showed a lot more maturity. And you got guys who are still in their first year of playing, but they're playing a lot more mature. Guys, Reggie White and Cody Williams, over the season so far, they've developed so much charisma together, and so they kind of work together. And I think the whole offensive line itself has kind of come together, more mature and growing on each other. And it's crazy to think that there's only a few games left, but I mean, better late than never to get the ball rolling and kind of get things going as an offense as a whole. So yeah.
Hunter, appreciate the time. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Good stuff. You're out. Coach, such a difficult stretch of the schedule here at Charleston Southern 2 weeks ago. The win over Liberty doesn't get any easier for the Hawks this week with #1 Coastal Carolina coming in.
No, it doesn't. That's 3 ranked teams in 3 weeks, and that's what the Big South brings you. It's a terrific football conference. There's so many talented teams and so many well-coached teams. We just happen to hit the 3 highest ranked teams in consecutive order here. But we're excited to host Coastal Carolina. They're a great football team. They're well-coached, and I know our team, our players are excited about this game.
Let's go back just to Saturday for a second. What that win does over Liberty for your team in terms of just overall confidence?
Well, I think what it shows is, our ability, our grit, the determination to come back from the adversity after having the lead for most of the game and then relinquishing the lead with just over a minute to play. I wasn't quite sure how our team would respond, but I was very happy and very proud of the way that our offense went out and put that drive together with started at 1 minute and 5 seconds on the clock to go down to get the field goal to tie the game, and is very happy with how we performed in overtime.
Just talking with Hunter before as part of this preview going into this week, he was speaking of just how maybe familiar now the offense is starting to come together. Younger players really starting to accept their role and trying to push forward.
Well, I think that's true on our offense. I think that's true among the receiving core where there's a number of younger players that are getting time. It's also true on the defensive side of the football where there's several young players that have been playing since week 1, and I think there's a familiarity that's developing among the players on the team and on both sides of the ball, and that can only help.
The excitement level of knowing that you're going to host the #1 team for the program, for the team, for the players, is it any different than any other week?
It's different in that we know that we realize the challenge that we have in front of us, and we know the caliber of the Coastal Carolina football team. I think that's a fact that's not lost on any player on our team. So our week has been very intent. Our attention to detail has been very good. Our focus on what we have to do to have a chance of being successful has been very good.
And crazy to realize that there's only 4 weeks left in the regular season. I know you have always been a proponent of telling players they only have limited opportunities during the course of the season, now just 4 games left.
Well, yeah, you're right, Matt. The football season goes by incredibly fast, and when you only have 11 games, you need to really make the most of every opportunity that you get.
Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Matt.
We'll have audio coverage for you of the Chanticleers and the Hawks coming on Saturday. It will start at 12:45 on the Monmouth Digital Network.